Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to be talking about GameJam 2018 and when it's going to come, as well as what it entails. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Let's go! Alright guys, so you heard it correctly. GameJam 2018 is right around the corner. It's actually coming next month in April. If you don't know what GameJam is, it's actually a live stream or kind of like an event that Jagex hosts where various different Jmods show off content that they're actually working on, usually small level content that can be pushed out relatively quickly and with ease. Last year they did not host a Game Blast accompanied with a double XP weekend, so instead they had a game jam associated with a double XP weekend in 2017. So I guess that sparked a tradition. It's coming back this year and there's going to be more content on Showcase, so it's always a good time. I'm definitely going to be covering it on the channel when it actually goes out, so stay tuned for that. If you're not familiar, last year we had certain things shown on the Game Jam that ended up in the game. Things like the luck rework that Mod Timbo did with the new tier of Lux rings, Hazel Mirrors, etc. That was shown off last year and ended up in the game, as well as another community-driven update, the Lumbridge Crater update, where they now brought it back and to look much more green and fit the overall area much more aesthetically. So both of those are actually two updates that were in last year's Game Jam that made it into the final build. There was also some larger updates that actually never came to fruition, things like the Penguins in Space musical raid, which was a less intense or less difficult than the current raids we have, but it was more playful and fun, and it was a bunch of penguins taking on Yakimaru and Beastmaster. And overall, it looked really fun, but unfortunately just never came into, fruition. I mean, we all know that 2017 was pretty much of a disaster year. They were trying a new update schedule and ended up abandoning it halfway through the year, which really spun a spiral that made 2017 a very rocky year. So I think that lends credence to why things like this did not come into the game. Also, we did not see the release of new Abyssal Slayer monsters that fit the thematic of the Slayer demons, but were higher tier, and they would actually drop higher tier abyssal weapons and were aimed at higher level slayers post 99. That would have filled out some of the levels that aren't necessarily filled out now, and unfortunately is another update that was on 2017 Game Jam that never got to see the light of day. Anyways, this time around they want to aim at looking at smaller updates, not so much big things like this, nothing major, no new quests, no new raids, no new skills. But they are taking on suggestions. They do want to take in more player ideas and want this year to be much more player driven than last year. There was some things last year like the Lumbridge Crater, etc. that were player driven, but most of them were just random ambitions that the Jmods had in mind. Well, this time around, you get to shape it much more extensively. Anyways, Mod Timbo is actually taking suggestions, so head over to Reddit or Twitter and get at him if you have anything you want to do. In case you haven't noticed, there's a bunch of alchemical onyx jewelry suggested on Reddit lately. People giving their suggestions for different things that the alchemical onyx can be used for, and Mod Timbo actually said in a live stream if anyone comes out with a good idea that he likes, he will actually dev it during this year's Game Jam. So that's exactly why you've probably seen a lot of that on Reddit as of late. Anyways, yeah guys, not much more to go on about for the Game Jam. Like I said, it's coming this April, next month, somewhere around the middle of the month, and I will be covering it for sure on the channel, going over every update that we see. Whether or not it ends up coming into the game, I'll definitely cover it on the channel so you guys are aware of it, you know exactly what to look out for. Before I sign off though, I just want to mention that in the most recent live stream, Mod Shawnee hinted at the next live stream next week will actually be a showcase for RS Mobile. So I'm sure a lot of people are curious to see exactly where they are in terms of that update, how far along they've come along. We haven't heard anything about RS Mobile in a while, so it's going to be good to see exactly the progress they've made so far, and I will definitely, like I always do, be covering that on the channel, so don't worry, next week we're getting RS Mobile news, and yeah, I just want to let you guys know about that for the future. That wraps it up for the video though, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I am out. Peace.